Hi, Professor. This is my assignment 6 for BA 88, Individual Response. I think that the U.S. laws that are in place, along with federal agencies, SCC, the FTC, I think they do a great job of not strangling the businesses. I think they don't prevent any of them from being profitable. I think they do encourage profit. That's what the FTC is for. They encourage profitability by allowing for competition. If there was no competition, there would be monopolies, which would restrict competition as well as profits for multiple amounts of companies. I think that it is necessary to have regulation and the checks and balances system in companies, because otherwise we would have issues with unfair labor practices, unfair fraud, and things like that with investors and bankers in the stock market, and dealing with banks, putting our money in the banks. That's why there's FDIC insured, so that if there is a problem, we are covered and taken care of in that sense. For references, I would like to reference the SEC page. They have a lot of things on what they do, and I think the big banks that they have on the enforcement page on the Spotlight, the Enforcement Actions website, do a great job explaining what they did to the companies that lied to investors and those in the mortgage crisis. My group member, Daniela, in Group 3, for Assignment 4 on Sunday, September 23rd, said that they protect and defend us and our individual rights. Mostly they make it so that we as consumers and citizens have due process if we ever have anything to do with either of these agencies. And then she also pointed out, along with the competition aspect, that competition is a good thing for the consumer and the economy, and as I already said, I believe that as well. So one of my group members and I agree in that sense. I believe that the SEC page also has a lot of banks and groups in there that I wasn't expecting, and I think that was the one shocking thing from that whole concept of the lecture and lesson in 4 that I didn't get. Now, in terms of what I believe along with what we read, I think it went along with what I read before, or what I knew before I took this class, because I'm 22 years old. I've been mature enough through the last 4 years to know what's been going on. I think that the FTC and SEC are both nonpartisan in terms of corporation and consumer. They look out for both of us and take care of the ones that are in need. Say a consumer wronged a business, they will still go and take care of that. If a business wrongs us, they'll take care of them. I also think that the financial crisis came because the companies were being unrealistic, and therefore the SEC taking care of things and putting punishment on them was a great thing. Looking out for those who were affected, especially I use the JP Morgan example because I use JP Morgan as before it became JP Morgan, it was Washington Mutual, and I had them as a bank. Fortunately, I didn't have that problem because, college student with no issue of credit or mortgage, I wasn't affected, but they did come down on the company I banked with, which I wasn't aware of to begin with. That was something I did learn through this assignment. I think that a lot of the ones listed on here were news to me because I thought a lot of this happened and gotten taken care of before 2010, and come to find out, like the JP Morgan securities settlement was in 2011. I wasn't expecting that. I think that, they were doing what they had to do. Yes, they lied and they thought they were doing the right thing. A lot of companies do that. It happens. But if you do wrong by us, the consumers, there are going to be punishments and actions taken against you. Goldman Sachs, the Citigroup example, all of them had to pay for what they did. It's only fair, it's only reasonable. And in conclusion, I think these are merely just my thoughts, opinions, as well as the one of my group member. I think that our government is doing its best looking out for us and taking the proper actions, not being too strangled on the companies, like it said. For the question, I think overall they're doing a great job, and there are things that can be fixed and changed, but it is going to take time. It is a slow process dealing with the government, and there are things that can be changed over time, but it will, as I said, take time. What can we do? just one consumer isn't going to be able to change the way it goes. We all have to have a voice and speak up for when we're wronged. It's the way to go about things, and that's the only way things are going to get changed. Thank you very much.